Part of marketing globally is dealing with the culture, a different culture than yours. Culture is defined as a learned, shared, compelling, interrelated set of orientations for members of society. When you're dealing with culture, the learned part means that it is not genetically based, as if that were how it could be. It means that they learn in their culture certain ways, and everyone treats things in a similar manner. And many people learn by trial and error in their culture what is appropriate. In the United States, competitive behavior from a child is met with parental approval. In Japan, it's disapproval. Okay? Shared. The beliefs, interpretations, and behaviors are shared by all or most of the people within the culture so that it becomes a truly society-wide phenomenon. Compelling. Culture must have implications such as social disapproval, if contradicted, in order to be considered important. If no one really cares, it is not compelling enough for you to do or to hold that particular trait of the culture. Interrelated. Although there may be conflicts between elements of culture, respect for seniority may come into conflict with a growing value of achievement in Singapore. For the most part, elements of culture constitute a coherent and relatively consistent whole. For example, the tendency for Japanese business people to bow when meeting each other and the tendency of lower-level Japanese employees to show great deference to their superiors are both manifestations of a strong emphasis on respect. Culture can be a problematic issue for many marketers since it is inherently nebulous and often difficult to understand. You could accidentally violate the cultural norms of another country without being informed. And people from different cultures may feel uncomfortable in each other's presence without knowing exactly why. So you have to get to know the culture, figure out why things are the way they are, not judge that culture for things the way they are, but figure out why they are so that you can work within that culture. A warning, stereotyping. When you observe a culture, you might become so used to seeing certain things all the time that you start to overgeneralize those traits. Just because there is a grain of truth in a perceived difference, that doesn't mean everybody feels the same way. So be very careful about stereotyping. Many times there are very significant differences in a culture. They may look like they all do the same thing, but you might meet only a certain portion of that culture, and there might be a lot more out there. So be careful of stereotyping. For instance, within the Muslim tradition, the dog is considered a dirty animal, so portraying it as man's best friend in an advertisement in a Muslim country would be counterproductive. People would not buy your product. Okay. Now, in the United States, the dog is man's best friend, so you put a cute little dog in a commercial and everybody smiles. Packaging. It's a reflection of the quality of the real product in Asia. Okay. It seems to count when they see something that is quality packaged. The outside looks like people have put a lot of work into it. It looks expensive. It looks like quality. To them, that means quality, even if the inside is not quite what we were hoping for in the U.S. And in the U.S., we count what really counts. We look inside the package and we say, no, I don't like the way that tastes. I'm not going to buy it. Okay. So 2 different cultures. And so you have to market to those 2 different cultures. Obviously, in Asia, you would have to use a more expensive packaging. And in the U.S., you could use something less expensive. Many cultures observe significantly greater levels of formality than what is typical in the U.S. Japanese negotiators tend to observe long, silent pauses as a speaker's point is considered. In the U.S., we kind of march right through that. So our elements of culture: beliefs, attitudes, goals, and values. This is not the definition. These are the different things that make up the culture. While Americans may attribute success to hard work or skill, that's our belief. In other countries, it is considered good luck. You had good luck to get where you are, or your connections got you to where you are. Attitudes, beliefs, feelings, behavioral intentions may differ. In America, we appreciate getting a bargain on a sale. This conjures up images of not being able to afford the full price in other cultures. So they want to pay full price, and they want to be able to say that they did. Goals. While progress, having new and improved products, for example, is considered a good thing in the U.S., many Japanese parents are concerned that the items that their children are buying take them away from the traditional Japanese things. So progress in the U.S., we're always looking for that. We love it. Japanese parents, they're kind of going, these kids need to know the traditions too. Values. In the U.S., individual uniqueness is generally considered a good thing, while in some cultures fitting in with the group is a higher priority. So in America, we enjoy wearing innovative clothing that's different than everybody else's. In some societies, that is frowned upon because you are supposed to be like everyone else. Here's an example of a Kentucky Fried Chicken franchise in Kuwait based on their culture. Okay? It even has all you can eat. Okay. But again, this is their culture. That's not something you'd see in the States. In Malaysia, the McDonald's serves drinks and ice cream in a kiosk in the mall. And that's McDonald's in Malaysia. Pizza Hut in Paris. Who knew that even in Paris they would want to have a Pizza Hut?